With the nav screens directing our route, we depart Serpentine Cove. We need to await the tide. The chart shows almost zero depth at low water. On our way, we pass once again through Barry Arm, giving us another view of the precarious, unstable slope that could let go a catastrophic landslip without any warning. Today, we continue to follow in the wake of the 1899 Harriman expedition, described in episode 3. We are heading up what he named College Fjord, with its total of 8 glaciers. On our port side, we will be passing 6, each named after colleges for women. To starboard is just one, Yale, a famous college for men, and at the head of the fjord is the big one, he named Harvard. As we turn into College Fjord, we pass within a couple of miles of the epicenter, here marked by an asterisk on the map, of the massive 9.2 1964 earthquake that raised portions of Prince William Sound by 36 feet and sunk others by 9 feet in a matter of seconds. Here are some of the 6 portside glaciers. All have retreated greatly over the past 100 years, and few now qualify as being tidewater. This college was founded in 1885 and named after a house in Wales in the UK. Hence the funny name, pronounced Bryn Mawr. Many of the ice floes carry a burden of debris and even chunks of rock. Here is a sample we rescued from a watery grave during an earlier visit in Venture. If not so rescued, this would now be sitting at the bottom of the fjord under 600 feet of water. We see only one seal resting on a floe. Surrounded by these giants, distances become deceptive. Here, we are still 2¼ miles away from the face of Harvard Glacier. As we approach the head of the fjord, we thread our way through a sea of tinkling ice. Harvard Glacier, still 1 mile distant, is very active and emits constant rumbling noises. It is blackened with rock. We continue to approach. A splash from a minor calving prompts us to launch our drone. We are just in time to capture a significant carving, both from venture and close-ups from the drone. Gently rise and fall from the resulting wave. A second carving follows just minutes later. This glacier shows clear contrast between those sections which scour the rocks and those that do not.
Oh, there, got it. Oh, look at that.
Capturing calving requires enormous patience as well as good luck at having the camera pointing in the right direction at the right moment. Having spent a couple of hours lying in wait with cameras poised, we decided it's time to move on. We also decide to bypass Yale, which we have visited before, and reverse our course down College Fjord through a flotilla of fantabulous flows. In these 2 days we have spent time with a total of 14 glaciers. Starting tomorrow, we plan to cross the width of Prince William Sound and explore a very different face of this wonderful place, which will be documented in the next video.